Welcome back, everybody, from a very long hiatus. Sorry about that. The holiday season kind of came in. I had family in town, and then I got sick, and I was dealing with that for quite a bit. But now things have started to calm down once again, and we can start rolling out some videos. So today we are diving into a beer that I've actually wanted to for the last month or so, and thankfully we actually still have it on tap, so I was able to take home some. Today we're going to be exploring the Vow of Silence, which is a German lager. This is one of our maltier beers that we have on tap, and it is kind of a favorite of a lot of people that enjoy the lagers, the heavy malts. We did some special things with this beer as well. This beer was developed several years ago by one of our former owners as well as the brewers. He has been in love with lagers and German styles for a very long time, and he wanted to really do something that was different, something that most breweries don't really do. And so he really wanted to come up with a beer that was for the ages, and thus came the first variation of Vow of Silence. This year, Matt and Dylan, our brewers, decided to perfect this beer a little bit further, and so they did their tweaking like they always do, and I feel like they've kind of really knocked it out of the park this time through. This is a beer that is a combination of the right malts, as well as that lovely aspect of time. So it's simply just an outstanding beer. Time is the real star of the show. For the most part, this beer has been lagered for around 6 to 7 months, and during this time, while it's hanging out and doing its thing, they threw in some French oak staves in there, so you get some woodiness as well. And the heavy malts and the oak staves really give a nice deep amber color to this beer, which I definitely appreciate. But what sets this beer apart from the other beers that we have done in the past is that this is the only beer that we have ever naturally carved. And this is the reason why we actually have it on tap on our slow pour tap. And the reason we do that is because it really does give a really nice creamy head to the beer, which is just an added bonus to it all. This is going to be quite the experience, because here it is. It's getting a little late there at night. It's about 9 o'clock right now. I finally had time to kind of sit down. So let's dive into this beer. Let's talk, and let's see what Matt and Dylan did with this one. So here we are. First impressions here. We have that lovely dark amber color. You can smell the maltiness right away. It just kind of hits you. And you do kind of pick up on some of the woodiness, the smokiness of the wood, which is kind of nice. It's a little bit different, and that's kind of what we were going for with this beer. God, I'm dying to drink it right now. All right, so let's move on to grains. The grains this time through, you're going to hear a lot of the same ones that we've utilized in the past. So first and foremost, the one that stands out the most is going to be the Munich malt. The Munich malt is simply there for the strong malty and rich aromas, and the caramel, honey, bready notes that you're also going to get off of this particular malt. We also have the Pilsen malt that we've utilized before. Rounds it out, gives it nice, soft, direct, sweet, malty notes to it. Where pale ale malts tend to give more color, along with toasty and biscuit notes, which is kind of what we don't want. We also utilize brew malt, and this is an American-style honey malt. This we do use occasionally, but we haven't in a while. This gives you a tart but slightly sweet note on the taste, as well as some fruity complexity, but it's one of those that you don't really get the fruity complexity from many other malts, so we decided to add that in. We also utilize the carapils, which improves that head retention, which I have asked the brewers with, is that actually true? And they said, absolutely it does. It does make a difference. And once again, we also are utilizing carafoam, which is that drum roasted 2-row German malt that adds the caramel notes as well as adds to the head retention and to give the beer a fuller body. Last, we utilize the acidulated malt, which adds in that lactic acid, which gives just a touch of sourness to the beer. In terms of hops, we utilized the Hallertau hop. This hop we've used several times as well. You're going to get fruity, wine-like qualities out of it, maybe grass and gooseberry. The hop really blends well with the combination of additional malts that we've added in with this beer, but it also pairs really well with that Pilsen malt especially, as well as the yeast that we're about to talk about. You do get some subtle fruity notes on the nose and the taste, but I'm still dealing with a little bit of something up here, so I'm not able to pick that up right now, which is the down part about me doing this and kind of why I've put it off for as long as I have, because not everything is back yet. Last but not least, we have the German lager yeast. This yeast works really well at the lower temperatures, and since this is going to be cold lagered for a good long time, we need that yeast to kind of do its magic at that lower temperature. The German lager yeast is going to give some mild fruit and floral notes, but it also creates a nice malty, crisp, clean taste. Paired with everything else, it makes a huge difference. And once again, that Pilsen malt really kind of stands out with this particular beer. All right, the moment I have been waiting for, and maybe you, if you are drinking as well at home. So, there you go. Cheers. That beer is just, it's silky. There's no better way to kind of describe the mouthfeel of it. Being naturally carved and pulled off of that slow pour tap makes a huge difference. I know you didn't see it on my particular pour here. You'll see it in post, but the creaminess of the head on the slow pour is just beautiful. It's magnificent. But the beer itself, it's sweet, it's bready, it's woody, it's malty, it's caramely. It's everything that I would want in a lager myself. This is a beer that is pretty high up there on my list of favorite lagers that we have done. This sits kind of right behind Schnitz and Giggles. That beer is one of my favorites as well in terms of lagers, but this is definitely one of those that I am drinking a lot of it right now, mostly because of the weather. It's pretty darn cold today with a lovely low tonight of about -7, so but this will keep me warm at least for a little bit. Well, and there you have it. Yet another beer down, and hopefully for 2024 we can really start rolling out some new ones, as well as maybe even some videos regarding just simple beer knowledge, beer education, which I love learning about beer myself, and I love passing that knowledge on, considering I am a teacher too. So, in review, this is another lager that we do here at the brewery. It is a very well-rounded German lager. It's not 100% traditional, but it is quite good. It's sweet, it's malty, it's caramely, but it is still really, really approachable. You don't have that bitterness that a lot of people kind of try to stay away from, which is great. It's clean and it's crisp. Vow of Silence is not yet in 4-packs to go. I know that we are working on several of our beers, getting those into 4-packs, and Vow is going to be one of them. But you can do it in crowlers to go if you stop into the brewery. These are poured right out the tap and sealed by our bartenders. So if ever you're in, I hope that you are, come in, grab a pint or 3, crowler, 4-pack, whatever you got to do. Thank you for joining. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And until next time, Prost.